my son. This is the day you become a warrior. And you know that a warrior bears great responsibility. The safety of our squaws and children depends on his wisdom and decisions. The welfare of the whole tribe depends on his strength and power. And this has never been truer than now. The great battle with the Mila Hask, the Long Knives, is upon us. So let me tell you about the great deeds of the Sioux, so you may learn from both their wisdom and their mistakes. It was in the month of the red cherries, in the year of the great starvation, Te Oya Te Duta. Little Crow was our chief. The Sioux had signed a treaty with Whitefather in Washington. We left the territory of our fathers for a strip of miserable land, which the whites called a reservation. The white men gave us food and goods. Many Sioux braves cut their hair, worked in the fields, and abandoned the customs of their ancestors. Then came the great war between the brothers, and the white men failed to deliver the promised spotted buffalo. Our people went hungry, and many children and old people died right in front of our eyes. Greedy, pale-faced traders cheated us, mistreated us, and dishonored our squaws. Some of my brothers listened to the hot blood in their veins and robbed warehouses for food. They burned down a farm, and white settlers and their women died. Our chief, Little Crow, knew the white man's retribution would be fierce, and many innocent people would suffer. But we were ready to die. The time had come. The whites were occupied with their own troubles. We had to destroy the white man's settlements, kill the treacherous traders, and drive them all from our land.
Hello everyone, welcome to America, No Peace Beyond the Line, and welcome to the first scenario for the Native Americans. And here we go. America, No Peace Beyond the Line is an Old West real-time strategy game, and it's pretty similar to Age of Empires 2 in a lot of regards, both visually and with regard to gameplay. Here we play as the Native Americans, the Sioux to be precise, even though it's apparently a slur used by another native tribe. We are going to place them first, and later on we are also going to play as the US Americans, so the settlers, as well as, why did I build that here? Never mind. As well as the Outlaws and the Mexicans. But first things first, we built this granary here. I didn't really want to build that. I wanted to build a wood processing facility here, but whatever. Let's get that. We also have these arrow shooters here. They can do some hunting. That's some easy early game food. We do have these women here. They are our main workers. They can construct stuff. And we do have these warriors here. Despite the fact that they're called warriors, you shouldn't really use them for fighting. They can fight, but they're not all that great. And they're better off just cutting lumber. We do have Little Crow here, our leader. So all the factions have a commander unit. Occasionally that's just, or most of the time it's just a generic unit, but occasionally it's a specific one. And when your leader is close to your main building, in our case the chief's teepee, they regenerate morale, but everybody else's morale is dependent on where the chief is, whether or not the chief has high morale or not. And it's between 80 and 120, and if it's high, your units fight way better. And if your leader gets killed, and it's a generic one, then until you retrain the leader, your morale will also drop to a very low level. So yeah, keep that in mind. And that's actually quite an interesting mechanic, so it does encourage you to actually use your hero units, even though it also means that if you use your leader and you lose them in battle, then you're going to face a morale drop for all your units, which you probably want to avoid, generally speaking. Anyway, let's get a training teepee here. A training teepee is your barracks, for the natives that is. And that will give us arrow shooters in this scenario here. So the arrow shooters are not that great. They can hunt, so that's a nice trait, because that means you can get some easy food with them early game. But at the same time, you probably want stronger units later, but yeah, you can get those later. And in this scenario, they're not available anyway, so there's only so much choice we have here, really. Okay, let's get a food processing facility. Oh, we need a coral for that. Okay, then I guess we're not going to bother with that then. And there's also other resources. We have gold. We can mine that in mines like this one here. And we can also get access to guns and horses later. We do in fact have our chiefs on the horse here, and you can mount and dismount with a lot of units. So that's somewhat interesting. Overall, we don't really have to bother with any of that in this scenario here all that much, but all of that is going to become way more important later. So we're going to build probably going to build a sleeping teepee here. And we can also train some additional units here. Oh, don't have enough food for that, but that's okay. And yeah, these sleeping teepees here give us pop, as you will have expected. And yeah, we're going to train some more women, because they will do some agriculture for us. And we can also extend the lifespan of our fields here. And as long as you have enough lumber, they auto renew, which is very convenient. It's great. You do want that all the time, in fact. So let's get another field going up here. And then we're going to do some more buffalo hunting. So that buffalo is gone, of course. So let's hunt the last one here. Okay, I guess we can't do... Oh, you can't do that because we have a non-hunting unit in our group here, but that's okay. Buffaloes, they all seem to be tame. At least they never are too bothered with the fact that you're just killing them all the time. But that's okay with me. We can't build any expanded structures yet. That's just a second build tab. There's nothing terribly special about those. But we do want a couple more of you here. So we can get more fields and can get more food for more warriors. The good thing about the arrow shooters is that they only cost food, and you can generate food from lumber, and there's generally an unlimited amount of lumber on every map. At least I think it's very unlikely that you're ever going to cut each and every single tree on the map. That just seems unlikely. We can get an axe upgrade here, so we can cut lumber even faster. We probably want that. We get 15 food per howl here, so you can afford that in a moment. There we go. And yeah, you can do some more agriculturing here. And that's pretty much all we need. We're just going to fend off some attacks from the US Army here, the Bluecoats. And then we're going to build up a nice army and move out and destroy those warehouses. Any idle workers? Oh yeah, you, because I don't know, did I move you? Never mind. So to build fields you actually need these granaries here. They're not only to deliver food to it, they give you access to fields. So we currently have 7, and then we can get 2 more, which we will in a moment. So we don't have any fortifications or towers as the natives, but one of our advantages is that we start with regeneration, so all of our units heal, which is very useful. No other faction does that automatically. The Outlaws can purchase that, but the Americans and US Americans and the Mexicans have to rely on nurses and nuns to heal one another, or to heal themselves, not one another, which can be somewhat inconvenient, but that's how it is. Also, so there's some blue coats. These guys here have 140 hit points, so they're way tougher than our guys. They were also made tougher on a patch, but so were our guys, so these guys here, they do cost golden rifles, so they're fairly expensive, but yeah, they are way tougher than our guys. They're not really the equivalent unit to the arrow shooter, that's more the cowboy. Okay, how many fields do you have left here? Only 1, so let's get the last field here up and running, and then we're going to get some more arrow shooters. Guess could have gotten that one in that trade in that other tent, but never mind. Let's make sure that you always have enough lumber, so you can always get fields set up automatically, which you really want. You don't want fields to be renewed manually. That's rather inconvenient. That's how it was before some of the patches here. And there we go. So that should be the last one. How many of guys do we have here? 10. I think we're going to build 10 more, and then we're going to move out. And we don't have to destroy like the settlement here or as far. In fact, you're discouraged to do that. Instead, we're going to just focus on the warehouses and then destroy all the houses in New Ulm, which is up here. That's the green faction. And then everything's going to be fine. Yes, you can see everybody has regenerated. That's quite convenient. We're not going to take Little Crow here long because the chance that he's going to die is just too high. Also, he only has 100 hit points. He has less than an American infantryman. That's because his hit points were never adjusted in any patch, so I guess that's too bad then. So do you have the maximum amount of workers here? So now that we no longer have buffaloes, our flow of food is a lot slower, but that's okay. Guess we could get even more fields, but we don't really need them, so we're not going to bother at this stage here. And we're just going to be a little bit patient and train more troops. And we really do have enough lumber, I think. If we ever need more than that, then something went horribly wrong. Okay, 5 more of you. I mean, obviously I want to train even more of them, just in case we get attacked again. You can hide one unit in the chief's teepee, which is pretty beefy, but that's not really your best defense, more like a last line of defense. There we go. And is there anything else? Not really. So let's just be a little bit more patient. Yeah, on some of the later maps you probably want at least 15 units to produce food, or possibly even 20. But here it's not really necessary to go all out. And once we are away and these guys here are going to get some action, then we're going to have some time to train some more troops in the meantime anyway. So you can only form groups of 20, which can be somewhat inconvenient, but that's okay. So you move out, and you're going to burn down some warehouses. As we do it. And we're also going to train more guys in the meantime. So the reason we're still getting the "a field has been harvested" message is because you used to have to do that manually, which was pretty inconvenient. Especially once you have 20 fields and they're not all running out at the same time. And if you leave a field barren for too long, then it's going to disappear completely and you have to renew it. It doesn't cost you more, but it's less convenient, let's put it that way. So here we have striding cowboys. They have almost no range and are pretty weak. But they only cost food, which is pretty good for them, because that means you can build a cheap army out of them and you don't have to rely on gold or guns or other difficult to get or limited resources. So a large army of cheap units is actually pretty viable here, especially if you can renew them quickly and then they're sent in the next wave of guys. But we're going to get to stuff like that later. So, not going to attack New Ulm right now, even though we could. We are instead going to search out more warehouses. Hey there, trappers. The trappers are a lot stronger than we are. They deal 8 points of damage. Well, I say a lot stronger, like 2 points of damage more, but they can't ride horses. But they can detect stealth, which isn't important right now, but will be important later. So let's just gun all of you down. And this is a... So this is a commander. The commander's pretty tough, but the downside of using the commander is, as soon as the commander dies, the morale of all these guys here will drop to 80. So they just lost a lot of combat prowess. And that's actually to our advantage. So let's just gun down everyone. That's a lot of guys. They just keep coming and coming, don't they? They sure do. So let's make sure that we... Oh, their commander is under attack as well. Oh. Hey, could you guys please tone it down a little bit? Okay. You just do your job there. I'm just going to queue up a couple more of these guys here because I have the feeling we're going to need them. Okay, so this commander here, the yellow faction, you have to die as well. Which you will, but this guy has 260 hit points. That's quite a lot of hit points, as you will know. Okay, still not dead. Oh snap! Actually, you know what? Whatever. I don't really care. So we lost a lot of guys here, a lot more guys than I thought actually. So we're just going to burn down this warehouse here, and then we're going to retreat. And in the meantime, more of these guys here will be trained. And you know what? I don't want you to repair this frontiersman. They're sending even more guys after us. What is this? Okay, but they don't have any nurses, so they couldn't heal this guy here. Goodbye. So, yeah, this guy now has a low morale. And what we can do is we can take over the horse. And that gives us more speed and also +2 attack bonus. It's pretty nifty. Okay. More of you, please. Really? How many more frontiersmen are going to send after this general store here? Okay, just burn it down now, okay? With your arrows that apparently fly so swiftly that the friction sets that on fire. Okay, let's kill this cowboy here. Let's try to not kill the horse. There we go. Thank you very much. And then let's steal the horse. Okay, so we're going to briefly return home. Then get some more troops and then move out again because I didn't expect such stiff resistance, but well, there was stiff resistance. Yeah, this works half the time that you just wait for. Okay, you know what, whatever. Oh, you almost killed the horse? Okay, you know what, man, I'm done with you guys here. Okay, fine, kill the trapper. 90 hit points. Yeah, this guy is 50% tougher than our guys. Another trapper. Okay, come on, enough with the trappers already. But whatever. At least we regenerate. Okay, you guys just wait here. We'll send a lot more guys to join you, and we're going to build a lot more guys in the meantime. Okay. So we are going to just add a full barrage of troops to you. And you can stay here for now. So you all gather here. It seems like the resistance here was a little bit stiffer than expected, but okay. Okay, all gather here. What is your problem? Can you not just cross this river here? Later you can actually learn to swim with the natives, but not in this scenario here. Okay, and as you can see, these guys have already regenerated to a fair amount. That was an awkward wording. And they actually regenerate at an equal... So everybody regenerates at an equal rate, which means that units with less hit points regenerate faster, relatively speaking. Not absolutely speaking. And yeah, you get through here. This game here it's not the most stable, so it's a little bit crash prone, but yeah, we'll see how we deal with that. At least in later missions where there's a lot going on, there's multiple factions, but not there's another trapper, because of course. But we'll get to that. This game also suffers some performance drops. It's not just that I'm running it under a more modern operating system, but that was also criticized in contemporary reviews. Okay, so at least I think we killed everyone who was guarding this general store here. The general store looks a little bit boring. It just looks like a generic building, but okay. Anyway. Oh, no. Oh, fine. Okay, kill the cowboy. By the way, there's a yellow settlement down here. I think those are gold diggers. You do not want to attack those. If you do, the US Army is going to attack you, and they are way more powerful than we are. So you really want to avoid that. Anyway. Let's get more arrow shooters to shoot more arrows. And you guys can look for the last warehouses. And damn, do we have a lot of lumber. But I'm okay with that. So, let's see. Let's look here first. Yeah, there's definitely another one here because there's units guarding it. Or at least that... Yeah, there we go. There's buffaloes here as well, but we don't really have to worry about those because they're too far away from our base to matter. Those cowboys don't even care. They're just striding along here in a nice circle. And now you just fail to guard that warehouse. But okay. I guess you're dead now. So, let's see. There's still some shroud left here. Oh yeah, there's another one here. What are the odds? So let's burn that down as well. More ineffective cowboys guarding it. Oh, we don't have enough living space. Oh, I guess you can get me some tents then. Okay, there we go. Then let's go to New Ulm and burn everything down. Got a nice amount of troops here. These should be sufficient to defend our base. And yeah, no, I have low morale here because I didn't take a little crow long, but at the same time I also don't want to get him killed. If it was a generic leader, it wouldn't really matter so much. Also, what you can see here is we really don't need to worry about lumber because even this comparatively small forest gave us an absolute ton of lumber. Also, we don't have enough food. Also, we can get gold in these gold mines here, but you can't really do anything with gold in this mission here specifically, so we're not going to bother. So let's... So they've got warehouses here. Warehouses can occasionally contain stuff, such as like weapons or resources, or other resources, rather weapons are a resource. And you can pick those up with certain units, but we're not going to bother with that right now. So they, as you can see, the Americans here have... The US Americans, we are Americans too. They have field workers as well. So the factions do share some things, but they're not super similar, at least in some regards. Like the Outlaws are somewhat different, so are the natives, the Mexicans and the... So what's happening here? There's a bunch of you guys attacking me here, but that's okay. So they have cavalry here. The cavalry, if mounted, they only have sabers, but they deal a ton of damage. They deal like 15 points of damage or something like that, so... Be careful. Hey, there's another commander here. Man, how many more of these do we have to kill? The answer is probably a lot, because this guy here just... There we go, went through a lot of our guys. You're not going to fix anything here, such as that burning trapper's cabin. Instead, you're going to die, and then we're going to destroy these houses here. Alright, so let's get some horses here, because we can. And yes, you can see these guys here dealt a considerable amount of damage. They are quite powerful. And we're going to send you over here because we may as well get some additional firepower. And since you're on horseback, you'll be somewhat swift to arrive. Yeah, another thing I like about this game here, if you... Hey, please destroy this building here first. If you group several units, their speed is adjusted to the speed of the slowest unit. I really like that. You also have formations here, none of which are particularly useful. But, I mean, I guess it's nice to have them there. And here we go. So this is this slightly southern looking building here. That's their HQ. We're not going to destroy that because it has 4,000 hit points. And we're not going to bother with that. These warehouses here are neutral because they're not really owned by a faction. In fact, there's neutral buildings you can plunder if you would like to. If not, that's also okay. So let's burn out these houses here. And then we'll be done with this first mission here. This scenario here is fairly easy. They get a lot harder later on. Some of them are more exhausting than difficult. They're just drawn out and with somewhat passive enemies. But we're going to get to that. This game has a total of 28 scenarios, so we'll be here for... Actually, no, it's just 26. So we're going to be here for quite a while. And there's also an expansion pack, but more about that even later. And... boom, there we go. Okay. Pretty sure that should be it. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we've intimidated them because they're all dead. I guess that does intimidate people too. And there we go. It's a glorious victory. There we go. We won, but this was just the first scenario. It's going to be more difficult later on. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Take care and goodbye.